Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and hitting you up while I'm on the road. Of course, gotta clean the car again. The kiddos have just turned it into a disaster. Anyone with toddlers or kids under 3, you know the struggle. Be that as it may, I decided to go ahead and hit up about 4 or 5 GameStops on the first day of their pro week. The reason why I attack GameStops on the first day, especially when it's like a Sunday or a Saturday, is because those are usually the days where a lot of people do their trade-ins. A lot of people trade in a lot of their older games to try to maximize the trade credit. And then also, you know, they're probably hoping to be able to trade in a bunch of games to get like a PlayStation 5, things like that. I'm sure there were a ton of deals that I missed out on earlier today just because based on what I've seen since coming out, it's clear that there were definitely more deals. I was just busy earlier in the day and just didn't get a chance to really hit it like that. The one thing that I will say is that, and this is probably more so for the collectors. You know, if you're hoping to find like rare games at GameStop, whether they be modern games like for the PlayStation 5, 4, Switch, or whether they be retro games for the NES, SNES, whatever the case may be, if you're hoping to find those games at GameStop, odds are you're not going to find them there because a lot of the employees are really taking, you know, advantage of the trade-ins. And I don't blame them, you know, and I'm sure this isn't something new. I'm sure this is something that everyone's aware of, and you probably all have been aware of this already. But I just left the GameStop where one of the employees told me that they took in a trade-in of brand new Dreamcast games, complete in box retro systems like Super Nintendo and stuff like that. And they were literally just talking about how customers traded in all this stuff and they just kept it for themselves, which I don't know, if you're an employee, that's pretty stupid. I don't know why you would say that. That would kind of just discourage anyone from who's wanting to go to GameStop for retro games from going there, because we're already going to know that there's no point. You know, the employees are going to take the game. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that's anything new. I think that's something that we've all been aware of. And so, just kind of putting a word to the wise. I think GameStop, the best case scenario for GameStop in terms of like quality games is you want to just, you know, your best bet is going to be to find, you know, those games that fall into that $25 to $60 range, that maybe some folks just don't realize are a little bit more collectible. But the rare stuff, yeah, employees are definitely killing that stuff all day. All that being said, I'm going to take you through everything that I was able to pick up for about $115. I did trade in some stuff, and I was able to find some decent stuff. So let's go through it. First is going to be Nier Replicant. I did pick up Nier Automata. I also picked up Nier on the PS3, and I'm really impressed with this series. I really like the whole hack and slash vibe. So this one I knew was a little bit more pricey, and so I decided to pick it up during Pro Week just because I was able to get 10% off, and I was able to use some trade credit towards it. So pick this one up. Pretty stoked with it. Definitely going to play this one. Was glad to find that. Next up, was able to find a complete in-box copy of Heavenly Sword. This is not rare or expensive by any stretch of the imagination, and I've had this in my collection a few times, but I did want to get it back into my PS3 collection, and so I did pick this one up. It is complete and in decent shape, so I went ahead and added this one. Next up, I picked this one up because, again, it was 10% off. I did have some trade credit towards it. And it is somewhat underpriced. I know this one goes for a pretty penny, but this is The Godfather, the Don's edition. This one is in really rough shape. Like the cover art is in rough shape, but the disc is decent, and it did come with a manual. Although the manual is in somewhat of a rough shape as well, it is going to need at least a wipe down. It definitely could use some TLC. So this is one that I did pick up though, because I don't often run into this game, so I'm gonna have to try to find a way to clean this up once I get back. But this was one that I did pick up as well. Found another copy of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions complete in box. This is one that sells pretty decently for me online, so with the discount, with the pro member discount and the extra percentage off, This one actually came in at a decent price, so I will more than likely flip this one. This is like my 4th time running into a copy of Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, so definitely went ahead and picked this one up. This will be going up online. Found another PlayStation 2 game. I would not have picked this God of War 2 up had it not been in decent shape, and it was complete. It does come with both the discs. The case is actually in decent shape, and the manual's in pretty good shape. So went ahead and added this one back to the PS2 collection for about $8.50. I figured this was not a bad deal, so went ahead and picked this one up. This will be going into the collection. I'm glad I didn't buy this online when I was tempted to before, but picked up a copy of Naughty Bear. I feel like there's 2 versions of this game. I know there's one where like the cover art is like this yellow cover art. They had this copy where the cover art was a little bit, just different. I haven't really seen this one too often. And I heard a lot about this game, so decided to pick up Naughty Bear on the 360. Not a bad deal. Like I said, some trade credit went towards this one. I don't have this in my collection, so this will be added to the 360 collection for sure. And then last but not least, Ultimate Alliance 2. This is one that I've actually been trying to chase down for some time. And every time I find this game, it's always in bad shape. It's always either missing the manual, the case is damaged, it's all jacked up. It's just, I never find this game in good condition. But I'm glad that I was actually able to find this copy for the 360. And this one does come with the unlockable code inside to be able to play with the Incredible Hulk. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, added that one to the collection. So when you look at it here, so 20, 40, 50, what is this? What are we talking about here? 115, 160, 170. So roughly around $200 worth of games, coming in at roughly around 115. Not mad at it at all. Once I sell Shattered Dimensions, I should be able to make back at least about 60 to 65 bucks. I think the last time I sold a copy of Shattered Dimensions, it went for 69 bucks. So figure $70. If I'm able to sell Shattered Dimensions, I would have been able to pick pretty much all this stuff up for roughly around 30 bucks, adding some really cool titles to the collection. So I'm not mad at it. The name of the game is just Frugality, and it's not over. I know that this promotion runs for 2 weeks, so more people are going to be selling stuff and trading stuff in. So we'll try to maximize the sales and the deals for as long as they're going on. But like I said, the best way to take advantage of this deal is really if you have some stuff to trade in and you want to get some trade-in credit going, or if you are if you catch it on the first day and you catch some of the trade-ins that people are trading in, then you can definitely take advantage there. But outside of that, the little 10% off on used games, it's kind of whack. It really only works if you're able to find games there that are underpriced. And GameStop is actively pricing up their games. So the odds of you finding games underpriced are just getting more and more slim. And, it's starting to become no longer worth it, between you having to compete with the store employees who obviously are going to get first dibs and they're going to take, the best deals. They're going to take the best games. And then when outside of that, you got to deal with GameStop, obviously, pricing up their games and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I'm not too mad with today's pickups. Not too mad at all. Let me know what you've been able to find out there, and I'll be back with you. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.